people tell me that I can do it, it lights a fire beneath me that makes me want to prove them wrong.
Gloria Julia King is an outlier. She's the only female member in Vanuatu's parliament. Despite already being a well-known community leader and business person, getting elected was no easy feat.
As a female in Vanuatu, it was very hard to make the decision to go into parliament because of the culture. Ni Vanuatu people, in their mind, in their upbringing, in their surroundings, the leadership has always been the men. Bless woman in my house. The woman's place is at home.
Before Ms King won her seat last year, there hadn't been a female MP in Vanuatu for 15 years.
There was not a lot of women in this space who could advise, who could mentor, who could, just help me discuss and see eye to eye why we should be in this office. My colleague members of parliament, you can almost feel this sense that they didn't think that I was allowed to be here. It's a men's world.
Vanuatu is not unique. Pacific politics is definitely a boys' club. Many Pacific nations have only a handful of women in parliament. Some, like Vanuatu, have only one.
If we exclude New Zealand and Australia, we do very poorly. Even with them included in the Pacific region, we still do very poorly.
Dr. Teresa Mecki is a Pacific Research Fellow at the Australian National University.
We've never had over 30% representation in parliaments all across the region. I think right now we have 52 women members of parliament out of 614 positions of power across the region. So that's pretty low.
It's a problem Dr. Mecki says has a profound impact on the lives of women.
Women are 50% of the population, and it's important for them to be in positions of leadership so that they could have a part in the decisions that affect their livelihoods.
The big question is why, in a region made up of democratic nations, so few women are elected into positions of power. While Dr. Mecki emphasises that no two Pacific countries are the same, there are some common threads. Traditional positions of power in village or church hierarchies are still dominated by men, and women tend to have less access to the money and resources needed to wage an effective election campaign.
Thank you very much, Honourable Randronro. Honourable members, on that note,
there's also an element of male leadership that is still very dominant in the Pacific region. Most of our chiefs, I would say, are male, and that has sort of translated into national leadership.
Lenora Gerengaretabua became just the third woman ever to preside over Fiji's parliament earlier this year. She says women also face more scrutiny than men in the public eye, particularly online.
Social media plays a big part in why some women may feel hesitant about, standing for any kind of public office because of the lack of restraint, for want of a better word, the kind of criticism that we open ourselves to when you're a woman wanting to take part in politics, from everything to how you wear your hair, to what kind of clothes you put on. When I joined the opposition, that sort of stood out, where there was a lot of misogyny about what certain members were wearing. They were expected to dress a particular way.
While there are challenges, there are ways we can help powerful women become women in power. Quotas and other temporary special measures are often touted as effective solutions, but they're also controversial.
Women can win on merits. We don't need special seat for women.
There's a lot of debate about temporary special measures. A lot of people don't think that it's democratic, but at the rate that we're in, we need some type of special measure to get them through.
Samoa has a constitutionally enshrined quota of 10% female representation in Parliament. It also became just the second Pacific nation ever to elect a female head of government in 2021, when Fiame Naomi Mataafa became Prime Minister. While quotas could be effective at elevating women in politics, a society-wide approach is needed for lasting change.
There needs to be more mainstreaming about women as leaders, not just politically, right? So, women in aviation, women in mining, different sectors, women as leaders generally.
We can start with talking to the husbands first. We could start by convincing people that no, women don't just belong at home, women belong in parliament too. Because if we can make decisions to raise mature adult citizens for this country, then of course we can be able to make decisions to govern the country too.
For Ms. King, getting into politics was never about power.
If this journey inspires one little girl enough to make them aspire to be a politician or to go into parliament in the future, then for me, that's what I'm here to achieve. My job is done.
One for the cameraman. Yeah.